Hey there! We're going to start off with something slightly confusing. This is going to be a review of a DolceVita pen. And I have reviewed the DolceVita Oversize. And I have reviewed this, which I thought was the DolceVita Mini. And then someone lent me this, and that's yet another DolceVita. Now there is a DolceVita Oversize, Medium, Slim, Mini, and Undersize. And upon further research, I think this one, this super small one that I reviewed before, is the Undersize, which would make sense. Oversize, Undersize, and I think this one is the Mini, based on pictures, and I think that is the case because of the way it posts. It posts deeply, sorry, whereas both my Oversize and Undersize post relatively shallowly. So I think this is a Mini, and I'll adjust the title of the review of this one to Undersize. Okay, having said all of this, this pen was lent to me for review purposes by a very friendly lady. Thank you. And today we're going to talk about this pen. So I'm going to cover the parts of the pen. I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it. I'll measure them, and I'll do a writing sample. Sorry, still have a bit of a cold. Taking some tea, yeah. Alright, let's start at the top of the cap. Here we got the finial, and that's the Delta logo. Then we have the clip. Apparently this is an alloy. It's a cat. It was a cat. The clip is an alloy of metal and platinum. It has a little ring, a wheel on it, which I enjoy. And then you have these details, which, as I understand it, are silver. They do have a 92.5 hallmark. I think that will make it sterling. Then we have this nice barrel, and at the end, this end cap. This pen is filled as an eyedropper, and there is ink in there. I would not be surprised. Yeah, there is a little nipple. I'm fairly certain you could put a standard international cartridge in there, be about this size, but right now it's an eyedropper mode. Okay, now when you hold it like this, clearly it's very, very small, so you have to post it for it to become a pleasantly sized pen, and then you can indeed use it relatively comfortably. More so than this Undersize, which really is ridiculously small, as you can see there. Alright, anything else that's very fascinating about this pen? Well, I've always liked the material. It's a very nice resin they use, which I enjoy a lot. Then we have the section. Section, as you can see, it tapers down, then it flares out a bit. And then you have the nib, and it's pretty cool because for such a small pen, it's actually an 18K nib. And I'm just doing a check. Yes, 18K 750, and this is a fine nib. And I'll show you that in the writing sample. In my experience, the nib is nice. It's smooth. It's a little prone to skipping. Now that could be the ink. I got this pen inked up, but on a couple of papers I have found it to skip a little. Alright, so there you have it. What do I like about the pen, and what do I not like about the pen? Well, I'm very, very much attached to my DolceVita Oversize. Lovely, wonderful pen. And this one, of course, is a lot smaller. That also makes it a lot more portable, because one of the issues with the Oversize is not so much its length, but its girth. As you can see here, it's a very fat pen. And the problem with that is that when you write with it for quite a long time, you see my fingers don't even touch. And usually, no matter what pen I use, they do. So that is kind of tiresome on the hand, and also it can be tough to fit this pen into any standard pen pouch. But with this pen, you won't have that issue because it's much smaller. It's a much smaller pen. I like that. Then there is the fact that it has a gold nib. That's nice. It offers a bit of spring, but one of the issues is that it's if you do use it with some spring to get line variation, I have found it to railroad very quickly. So don't expect a semi-flex pen or something of that nature. Okay, of course you need to post it to use it comfortably unless you have very small hands. That is something that not everyone may enjoy. It's a very fascinating design, I think, just because of that very portable, small design. Okay, I think what we need to do next is take a couple of measurements. Switch on my scale there while we are waiting. Okay, capped. I have a length of 4.49 inches, that is 114 millimeters precisely. I'm going to take posted measurements here too, just because I can. It is exactly 100 millimeters uncapped. That's pretty cool. Inches, that is 3.93 inches. I'm going to post it securely. Then I have 5.16 inches, that is 131.2 inches. Section diameter at the narrowest point, 9.4 millimeters or 0.37 of an inch, and that varies all the way up to 10.5 millimeters or 0.41 of an inch. Inked up, I think right now, let me quick look, I think it's about 2/3 full, something like that. It has a weight of 18 grams, which for such a small pen is quite impressive. So, thanks a lot for lending me the pen to review it. I think we need to see how it writes. That's what we're going to do next. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye.
Alright, here we go with the DolceVita Mini. The nib is fine, and I don't know what ink this is because I got it inked up. The paper is Clairefontaine. Notice the hard starts. Also, I find this nib to have quite some feedback. I would not call it scratchy because it's not. It doesn't give an unpleasant resistance, but it does give feedback. It definitely lets you know that you're writing with something, and that's not something I've really experienced in the other DolceVita pens. Let's see how well the feed keeps up with heavy, that's fast writing. Well, I don't see any skips. As to wetness, a nice even patch of ink, and as to line variation, you saw another hard start there. You see you can squeeze some out. Now when I use it like this, it's actually flowing well now. When I tried it like this earlier, it actually skipped and railroaded much faster, so that's very good. Now just to give you an idea, I have already done a shootout between this undersize and oversize, so another shootout seems like a bit much to me. Let me do the final thing here that I wanted to do with this pen. I can write with it unposted, by the way. Just reverse writing. Oh, this is very scratchy. The nib actually gets snagged on the paper, so I wouldn't recommend that. What I want to do now is just give you an overview. So this would be the underside, and interestingly enough, I find the underside, this is a, I thought it was a fine, no wait, it's a medium, sorry. This writes really smoothly, which is very fascinating for such a small nib. And then we have the Mini. You can hear the difference in fine, which is feedbacky. And then we have, so this was your Mini fountain pen shootout. Anyway, here we have the oversides. This is a scented orange ink, I believe. And this would be a broad. And this is another very smoothly writing pen. Sorry it's a bit light, but so this would be the differences. So in smoothness, I think the oversize and undersize are on par, so it's not just that the broad nib has more tipping material to be polished. I think those are on par, and I think the Mini really is a bit more feedbacky overall. What may also be interesting to show you while we're here anyway, let me just post these pens so that they don't roll off the paper. Just want to show you the differences in nib design. What we have here is, you can see the difference in nib sizes. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. So here we would have oversize, mini, and the undersize, and you see that the Mini actually has a somewhat different nib design from the other two. Just thought that was salient. Alright, so I hope this was useful. Thanks a lot for lending this pen to me. I hope that this has given you some more ideas on what size of the DolceVita you may want to give a shot. And I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye.